Was I muted? I don't know. I should be unmuted now. I guess I was. Didn't realize I had my mute button activated on my headset. Brayden left me high and dry. He's at Bible study. But we got... Let me just get this poll up. This is where we were. I was saying Sam just comes in here to keep his streak going. He doesn't interact with the content like that anymore. Yeah, just mute the slide. Just let everyone react to everything. Wow. I said Illinois. Illinois kind of walking the same tightrope Michigan was. Just not a lot of depth on their team outside of their starting lineup. UCF kind of came out of nowhere. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see them coming. 7-0 start. I'm pretty sure they're the only unbeaten team in the Big 12 right now. And I'm not getting enough respect to get ranked in the polls. All right, who's ready for slides? Who's ready? I don't think Kansas is going to be down bad like this the whole season. I feel like they're way too good for that. All right, first one. Let's get into it. We had a little tussle in the American that ended up living up to the hype. South Florida. Resurgent South Florida. They were an awful team last year. They were like, I think, last place in the American, but they're off to a hot start. 7-1. They're 4-0 in conference play with this win over Memphis. Shamar Person with 22-7 and 2 blocks. Alex Golubewski. Golubewski? I don't know. That's some Polish-ass name. 16-6 and 5 steals. He was everywhere. And Graham Hewwinkle with 21-9, 3 and 3 steals for the Tigers. USF wins a close one. He's the Hannah Hidalgo of men's basketball. I think I view Memphis as a team that's probably in a little bit of a gap year. Like I think next year they'll be better because they got freshmen that just need to develop. A good win for the Bulls. Another team that I didn't. These Florida teams are kind of rising up right now on some real shit. Next game. I wanted to have Brayden here for this, but he's gonna have to find out in VOD or something. His Nova Southeastern Sharks. They're undefeated no more. They take their first L on the road to Arizona State. And Van Lucas, who had 20 points, 5 boards, and 4 steals. Randall Pierce, the center, 15-9 and 6 stocks for him. He had a good performance. Porter Dufort was good for the Sharks. Ukeme Knox didn't show up enough. Didn't do enough to keep the undefeated season going. He had 6 made threes for Dufort. But it's a 5-point loss for Nova Southeastern. Good season for them so far. I wouldn't be super bent out of shape over this loss. They're proven to be one of the better. Probably, I think they're going to be first place in the A-Sun as a team I picked. I'm feeling pretty good about that pick so far. Arizona State seems to be like back to close to what they were in year one. Respectable team. Next game. Going to an A10 SoCon clash. The Dayton Flyers. Staying unbeaten. 8th win of the season. Winning by 11 on the road at Wofford. 2 customs start in this one. Tyrese Holloway with 17, 9, and 3 steals. He was the leading scorer for the Flyers. Lyle Wilson. Dude is just do-it-all player for the Flyers. 13, 6, 9 assists, 2 steals. Lincoln Pachetti with 25 led all scorers for the Terriers. But big storyline. Dante Bridges, he kind of got shut down. Dayton did not let him be a huge factor in this game. Played a big part in them getting this dub. As the A10 still holding on with 3 undefeated teams so far. Dayton, St. Louis, and Duquesne all have not suffered a defeat yet this season. Yeah, your boy, he didn't want to. He didn't want to stay at Santa Clara, but he kind of hooping here. I wish he was more involved on their team, but he's like the 3rd highest overall, I think. But I like this Dayton team. They got some comp in the A10. It's gonna be fun to see how that shakes out. Next game. Baylor. They were not ready for the heat here. It's good to see St. Mary still has it. I was kind of starting to question if they had that big game ability to show up. Travis Tweddle, the senior, had 23 points. He was everywhere. Had 7 stocks. Sammy Howard, their new. I meant to put he has 2 stats for rebounds. That should be 9 assists, by the way. 7 rebounds and 9 rebounds. No way. Brian Davis continues to be Baylor's best player. He's the guy that shows up the most when they win and when they lose. Yeah, kind of. I feel like it's shaping up to be a really good year for mid majors. Got some really strong ones this year. But dominating win for St. Mary's. They get a ranked win. Perhaps they get back into the top 25 here soon. Then we got a bit of an upset. Although I might start questioning West Virginia. They were so successful last year because they picked up 2 elite defensive players in Chad Hodge and Cassius Malloy. They are not here anymore, so they don't have that. They don't have that to lean on anymore this year. This is their 2nd time getting clipped by a team they probably should beat on paper. Oh, bet. Yo, Levi. Thanks for the gifted sub. That's fire. I don't remember what I said I'd do for gifted subs, but I'll figure something out. I'll let you know. And I guess Garrett gets to have a little bit of sub rewards for a month. Appreciate it, Levi. Thank you. But anyways, back to this recap. Francis Percival, one of my favorite portal additions. I thought he was going to be a big-time player. Radford's definitely enjoying his presence. He was elite in this game. 25 points on 6 made threes. 5 boards, 4 assists. Kenny Quinn pitched in. Adrian Hendershot. It looks like he's been rising up to be West Virginia's best player this year. Been very productive for them, but they lose by 6 on the road here. Yeah. The whoever gets the gifted sub, like, they're gonna get the normal like tier 1 like benefits, which is just like the 2 coach points and the 1 A tier. I don't know. I'll give Levi something for the. I forget if I know I was like talking about it with Braden about like gift sub rewards and stuff. But anyways, good win for the Highlanders. I kind of like them in the Big South, honestly. They'd be my favorites right now. Love me some Francis Percival, fun player. Then we got Illinois kind of losing the plot in this one. And it wasn't even them getting cooked by one player. Wright State just ran roughshod over the Illini. 107 points. No, Illinois. I believe this is their third straight loss too. Illini, they're running into the same problems. Depth is important in this game. You can't have bums coming off the bench. Okay, heel. Community train. Oh, we're just popping off now. Yoni gets a sub. Oh god. We're just gifting subs now. Who the hell is Astro Bean? That's probably some rando, I bet. I've never seen them in my stream. Levi trying not to get one-upped. I respect it. Anyways, I can only pick two players from Wright State to highlight. David Heinzelman had 19 points on 6 of 9 shooting. He had made three three-pointers. Roddy Mason with 14, 6, and 4. Deron Fuller was good for the Fighting Illini, but man, these Big Ten teams that are kind of slim on depth, it's not looked too great for them. I still like the high-end talent on Illinois, but they might be in for a struggle bus, especially when we get to conference play. Good win for the Raiders, even though I think it's probably kind of fluky, but whatever. And then we got this result. I know Braden was circling this one on the calendar for his Mavericks, and they get it done. They kind of locked up UNI. Although Charlie Haddingham was kind of going crazy on the glass. He had 19 rebounds in this game. Makes you a little bit concerned about Zebulon Patterson, that he was allowing that to happen. Like, that is domination on the glass. I'm still waiting for my tax refund. That'll be fun when it gets here. LaMarcus Austin. I know Braden's been a little disappointed by his role, but he was a star of this game. 18 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, add in 3 blocks on the defensive end. Isaiah Austin with 10 points and 7 boards. Thing Northern Iowa did accomplish though, Darius Hampton was not like dominant in this game. I think he shot like 4 for 16 from the floor. It's like the first time I think I've seen him look human in quite a while. Charlie Haddingham, man, if he was able to turn those boards into points more often, probably would have been different. Not super discouraged if you're Northern Iowa. I mean, UTA is a very good team. Wouldn't get too down about it. UTA remains unbeaten. I want to know what Sam feels about this UTA team. That's what I want to know. See people just talking about tax returns. It's an entertaining stream, everybody. They're the favorites. Yes, tell me more, Sam. I need something to bounce off of. UTA moves the needle. That's all Sam had to say. They're the favorites. I was trying to psych Braden out. When I'm talking about the upcoming show in VC, he's always trying to get information. We need that "We Are Your Slaves" tweet. That tweet was crazy. You can't tell me that wasn't Yoni's Twitter account. Funny. Anyways, moving on. Got a kind of a shocking upset here. The Loyola Marymount Lions from the West Coast Conference get a impressive win here over Florida. Louis Duchesne with 17-6-5. Braden Hargraves, custom alert. He's a senior. Got 16-3-5. And they lead the Lions to a 3-point upset on the road in Gainesville. Charlie Ostling was good for the Gators, but Florida doesn't do enough to avoid the upset here. Take their first loss of the season to Loyola. Florida, for real. That would be a funny ass tweet. Someone post that in the social media channel. What if EKU just gets blown out by UTA again? Next game, we got another shocker. The mid-majors are attacking. Arkansas. Shocking upset here, honestly. I didn't think North Alabama had this kind of game in them. Shahid Rabe with 24 points. I mean, this dude's capable of going off. And he did in this game. 6 3-pointers, 5 assists. Brady DeCroif with 16 and 10, plus 2 steals. Zay Russian had 19, 6, and 3. I can't really defend this loss for Arkansas. It's not like they were injured or anything. They just lost. Kind of a bad look for them. They do be taking some L's. Is North Alabama someone to watch for? I don't know. I don't know if I take them that serious. But I mean, if Rabe is going to be playing the way he is in this game, I mean, they're going to be able to give some teams issues. Moving on, the SEC losing doesn't stop. Illinois probably dropping out of the top 25 anyway, but they get a good win here on the road. Deron Fuller with 18-9 and 6 stocks. Giuseppe Delfino with a double-double, 6 assists and 5 3-pointers. It's true. I don't expect much from Michigan. They might be decent enough to make the tournament, but that's about it. They're gonna be in trouble until Pettis comes back. Pavel Corcoran had a double-double as well. Him and Delfino went back and forth with the scoring duties. Fuller ended up being the difference, though. The Illini get a good win. They're just gonna be so, like, upsets are gonna happen for Illinois. Like, if those starters aren't playing their best, they're very susceptible to losing to teams they're better than. And Auburn, for them, this is their first loss of the year. Definitely a team that I was sleeping on. I didn't really expect them to be starting off the season this well. I don't know if they'll come back to earth once the SEC play starts, or maybe if they are just legit. Who knows? Find out. We're about a third of the way through the season right now. Next game, Arizona taking an L to the Wisconsin Badgers. I'm not really sure why Wisconsin fell out of the top 25. I think this team is still pretty solid. Elias Kohler is just a hooper. This dude can score. 17 points in this game. Chance Price had 16, 8, and 4. Cedric Lake had a good game for Arizona, but Wisconsin locked up everyone else pretty well. The Badgers aren't dead. Braden's here. Okay, he gets to keep his streak. People have been gifting subs, Braden. Honestly, not sure who's gonna. I'd probably take Wisconsin at this point in the Big Ten. I mean, outside of Michigan State. Without Michigan there, I'd probably take the Spartans or the Badgers. Got another one. I wanted to cover this one. Unfortunately, CCSU, they were not ready. UCF might be legit. Yeah, I started the stream and my mic was muted. How embarrassing. I want to know Braden's reaction to this result. Is he disappointed? Is he going to deflect it and say we aren't supposed to be here? UCF though, I totally did not. They were morbid the past this entire sim. They have not been relevant at all. But now they're suddenly 9-0, ranked for the first time. Jeff Wilder's hooping. He had 21 in this game. Scotty Kelly had 12, 6 and 5. Theo Robinson was good. If you want a bright spot for Central Connecticut, seems like their young guys are progressing along well. Everyone's trying to talk to Braden. All he gives is a sub. Sad. Wonder how long the Knights will go before they lose. We got one more. West Virginia. The Big South is victimizing the Mountaineers. First Radford, now Longwood. Alexi Payline with 19 and 6. Javon Grand with 12 and 8. Adrian Hendershot, good player. He's risen to the top of this West Virginia team. But man, he's not getting enough help. West Virginia might be back to being kind of a joke. They were not a joke last year. They were good. They had that defense. They don't got it no more. The Big 12 might be down bad. It's possible. Good win for the Lancers. The Big South might be a conference to look out for. I feel like a lot of those teams are exceeding expectations. Certainly didn't expect Longwood to be 6 and 3 with a pretty good win here. I don't know how Heel's gonna take to this news, but NC State got a pretty good win, knocking off number 9 Alabama, led by crazy performance from Justin Towns. 26 points, 7 made threes. Tyler Connolly got in there with 21, 5, 4, and 2 steals. Bama taking their second loss of the season. Are the Wolfpack finally getting out of the gutter? I don't know. Oh hell no! I know Heel hates NC State. He's not a fan of them. Yeah, cooked. Alright, see you, Sam. These ranked teams are dropping like flies. When will it end? Also, let's shout out Leon Yorokin. He was all right, but not a good game for Bama. They had nothing for Justin Towns, unfortunately. Results in an L for them. We got a game that I thought was going to be very interesting. A lot more defensive than I thought it would be. With St. Louis wins a fucking knife fight here in Winston-Salem over Wake Forest. They remain undefeated. Wake Forest takes their first L. Jake Hall custom me at 11 and 9. Matthew Conroe only had 9 points, but he had 7 boards and 7 stocks. Dean Windish was the best player in this game by a long shot, but none of his teammates showed up. He had a double-double and 5 blocks. Had almost half of his team's points. Defense was played. Maybe there is still hope. St. Louis, A10. I'm a fan of the A10 this year. They got some fun teams. I think St. Louis and Dayton are the 2 best ones, but they got a few that are sporting good records. And that is the last game of our first week. And you'll notice we got some big risers in this media poll, including a new number 1. And some new entrants. Who do y'all notice there at number 6? What's going on here? Are we witnessing a changing of the guard in the Big 12 before our eyes? At least for this year. UCF all the way to number 6. Georgia Tech jumps all the way up to number 9. BYU up to 12. Virginia Tech enters the top 25 at number 18, and TCU is in as well at number 22. Arizona and Kansas are down horrendous. How do we feel about Mississippi State at number 1? I don't know how long they're going to be able to hold on to a top 10 spot. Good for UCF. Good for them. At Patrick Payton edition in the portal, paying dividends for the Bulldogs. You don't think so? I kind of think they might. Their team on paper is just really solid. It's hard to poke many holes in it. I mean, they're gonna lose eventually, but it might be a while. We'll see. Virginia just silently chugging along. They dropped a 2, but I still think they're incredibly strong. Notre Dame and Georgia Tech just being in the top 10. Crazy world we live in. We'll see if Virginia Tech can keep it up this time. I know they had a hot start to their season last year and they cooled off a ton. TCU also surprising entrant from the Big 12. This conference is all over the place. All right, we're moving into our last week. It's going to be a quicker one. We're starting with, speaking of Virginia Tech, 9-0. Immediately they lose their first game of the season after they get ranked to Ohio State. I forget if he's even starting or not for Notre Dame. He might be coming off the bench this year. Raphael McCarthy with 18-7 for the Buckeyes. Rylan Robinson, 16-6 and 5 blocks. The block numbers have been kind of crazy this week. Matty Haitala, Hokies' best player, had 8 stocks, 8 boards, 14 points. But the Buckeyes did enough to keep Cassius Pritchett, who's been kind of a revelation for the Hokies, been one of the main reasons they've been able to have the start they've had. But they hold him in check enough to get this win at home. Ranked win for the Buckeyes. Not quite what they were last year without Antonio Young. Guy went first overall in this past draft. But they're still respectable. 7-3 is not awful. Next game. Man, speaking good about Notre Dame, but they get clipped here by Texas Tech, who's been having a kind of a rough start to their year. I think a lot of it has to do with their schedule being pretty tough, but they get a good win here. Notre Dame was flying a little too high. Kind of get brought down in the mud and suffocated. Walker Landon with 11 points. Lothar Schumacher, star freshman, had 10 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals. Richard Longley had 12 and 13, 3 blocks. Irish first loss of the year. I'm pretty comfortable to say that they'll probably stay in this top 25, I think. Been pretty impressed with how they've built their team. Texas Tech, though, I really thought they'd be a little bit better record-wise this year. Maybe they'll do well in conference play to even it out, but good win for them nonetheless. Next game, we got a murder here. I'm just waiting for this Aggies team to get ranked, man. They're really good. And Baylor had nothing for them. Brian Davis, if you guys can see down there, usually the guy doing the most, he was completely shut down in this game. I mean, he didn't do anything. Literally, he scored no points. Juan Ojeda had a double-double, 2 steals. Tremaine McGee, Duke transfer, had 11 points and 7 assists, 4 blocks as well. Dominating game from the Aggies. I think they're going to get ranked here pretty soon. If they keep winning, it's hard to deny them. They're on paper, they're an excellent squad. I think you'd be crazy to not pick them to win their conference. Like, they're elite. Type of team I could see making a run in the tournament. Like, they're good enough to do that. They improved to 9-1. The 26-point win over Baylor. Then we got another, man, Arkansas. What's up? Ugh. This one might be even uglier than the North Alabama loss. Oklahoma State wallops the Razorbacks by 20 in Stillwater. Nathaniel Dunn with 19 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 5 stocks. Leandro Reyes with 11, 7, and 2. Can't use injuries as an excuse for the Razorbacks. They're just getting beat. Not missing anyone important. Got to go back to the drawing board before the season gets ugly. Next game, we got Florida defeating Michigan State, and this is where I want to come in and say one of the big-time players for Michigan State this year has been their star freshman Aziz Tevasholu. Well, in their last game, their previous game against Arkansas State, he was injured with a severe concussion that is probably going to knock him out for the rest of the regular season. He should be back for the postseason, which is, I mean, some silver lining there. So if they're able to get to the tournament, which I think they'll probably be good enough to at least make the tournament. Like, they're going to be dangerous probably when he gets back. But they're going to be without him for the rest of this regular season. Definitely throws a wrench in the Big Ten race. I'm not even sure who I'd pick to win that now. Probably Wisconsin. but their first game without him does not go well. They look pretty flat in East Lansing at home. Florida comes in and has their way with them. Jacob Wilder was 17-7. Edgerrin Warren, San Diego State transfer, gave 13-7, 4, and 4 stocks. And Ronnie Bishop at 20-7 for the Spartans. But man, I'm interested to see how the Spartans move on without him. That's a big piece to lose. Next game, and I believe this is our last game. Unfortunately, it highlights Campbell when they lose. They started off the season 8-0. But Charleston ends their undefeated season. Honestly, I find it very impressive they were even 8-0 to begin with. I did not think super highly of the Campbell roster. Probably goes to how good Trey Singleton is as a coach. But I mean, this was a battle. Jimmy Golson and Joel Frazier went bar for bar with each other. 27 for Golson, 25 for Frazier. Oh, thanks for the 100 bits, Levi. You've been generous as hell this stream. Thank you. Does Heel have any like eulogies he wants to give for Campbell's undefeated season coming to an end here in Charleston? Joel Frazier, I think he's been a big reason why Campbell's been better than I thought they'd be. He's taking the reins here, it looks like. It is good for it is true. It was a good run. No. It's a good answer. Yeah, I think that is our last game for the recap. Here is what we have in the last AP poll for this episode. Does anyone notice who has appeared in the top 25 here? The A10 is back. Also, UCF moves up to number 4. MSU drops 5 spots to number 9 with the loss. Yeah, this season's been kind of crazy. TCU's up to number 14. Like, what? The Billikens are back. Dayton and Duquesne are also still unbeaten. I wonder if any of them will join them soon. Anyone who had St. Louis in their top 25 prediction, they're eating good right now. I'm just waiting for New Mexico State to enter this. I feel like they're gonna be here soon. Cause they've gotten some big wins on their schedule. They weren't pussified with their schedule. If Dayton keeps winning, they'll probably be here soon. We're gonna find out about those other teams after the next stream when I do the request stream. Look at all that. And I'll do the standings check then. But yeah, this season the UCF has been the craziest storyline to me. Like, where did they come from? They were not on my radar at all. Same with TCU. I don't know how real they are, but they're shooting up these polls. St. Louis, I'm not super shocked by. Like, I figured they'd be good, but getting the AP respect is fun to see. The Big Ten race is all crazy right now. I don't know how that's gonna shake out. Two big time injuries, but they aren't season enders. A little bit. I wouldn't say Maryland's like super shocking. They're still a really good team. They just haven't lost yet. I figured Mississippi State would be up here, but them being #1 is kind of crazy. But I've looked at their roster. They are really good. I love their team, how it's put together. BYU's a little shocking, definitely. Didn't really peg them as some top 10 caliber team. I mean, I have my doubts they'll be able to keep this ranking, but I mean, they're here and right now. It's fun. Duke is still 9-1. They haven't lost the plot yet. That's something. Kansas being almost out of the top 25 is crazy. Didn't think I'd see that. Definitely not this year. Wonder if they'll rebound. But yeah, Aziz Tevasholu. That's the reference of the title. He was injured in Michigan State's game before the Florida game against Arkansas State. He's going to be out till the end of the regular season. But he should be back for postseason ball, so MSU could be a team with a slightly worse record than what they should be. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. Halfway through December, hopefully I can get the next stream up in the next couple days. I think Sunday. I think I'd be able to get that next stream up for you guys, get the request stream out of the way, and we'll be at the halfway point of the season. Exciting times. I think it's going to be a mid-major type season. I like the crop of mid-major teams we have this year. Any Akron game? I'll put one in for you, Levi. Yeah, I'll hook you guys up. Yeah, he had 2 gifted and 100 bits. Yep, that's right. An Oregon State game. An FSU game. Easter stream. Yeah, it'll probably be like a late night stream, probably. I know I'm doing stuff with my family, so we'll see how it works. But I'm hoping I'll at least have the slides done by then. All right, y'all. That's it for me. Have a good night. Thanks everyone for stopping by. I'll get everyone their perks and stuff updated. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye bye.